I think I'm going to make a substitute motion to incorporate some of the things he said into this, okay?
Okay.
I'll make a substitute motion that we take the recommended action and instruct staff to include Chief Leake to come up with a plan to address this issue organically and to implement those policies that he feels necessary and proper to fill these positions as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, is your motion, did it say that we would apply for the grant? Or?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But in the meantime, the chief and staff will work on alternatives and try to implement. Bring them to us. Let's have a discussion in staff, whatever, individually, but at some point in staff too, talk to us and let's come up with some ideas that I'm confident we can.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussions? Comments? Madam?
You want public?
Oh, does anyone from the public like to comment? Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Good call, Bill.
We really only have one. All right. Well, then, Commissioner Norton.
Well, I'm just going to be on the record. I'm probably not going to support the substitute motion because I just didn't see any reason for us to have to go through that gyration. I think we'd had a rich enough conversation to guide the chief to make some recommendations to us outside of that. So I probably won't vote for the substitute motion just because I think it wasn't necessary. I stand with the first motion that I made.
Okay. Any other comments? Madam Clerk, call the vote.
Commissioner Unruh?
Aye.
Commissioner Norton?
No.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Peterjohn?
Aye.
Chairman Ransall?
Aye. Next item, please.
Item B, agreement for automatic aid response between Butler County Fire District Number 7 and Sedgwick County Fire District Number 1.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dan Wagner, Fire Marshal, Sedgwick County Fire. What we have in front of you is an agreement for automatic aid for response between Butler County Fire District Number 7 and Sedgwick County Fire District Number 1. This area basically includes the area of 29th Street North to Greenwich to County Line East and County Line North. This agreement will augment, or not augment, will augment our fire responses in that portion of Sedgwick County. My recommendation is to go ahead and sign the contract with Butler County and have the chairman sign it.
I move we approve the automatic aid agreement.
I'll second.
Commissioner Peterjohn?
Let me ask you a couple of questions. If we approve this, and I think we will, how many automatic aid agreements would Fire District Number 1 have with other departments in our area?
Off the top of my head, I believe we have 13 automatic aid agreements. We have automatic. This is the only fire department that I'm aware of that we do not currently have an automatic aid agreement with.
Okay, that's adjacent to us?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just ask, in terms of the number of fire calls that we had runs on last year, do you have any idea the total number of calls, and if so, how many of those calls were in the fire district or were automatic aid calls to outside the fire district?
For the entire fire district, I don't have those numbers in front of me. I know for this area that we're talking about, since 2013, we've had one fire call in that area. So I was prepared to talk about that area, but as far as how many automatic aid responses that we've had with other departments, I don't have that in front of me.
Okay, but when you say one, it was a case of us going to their area?
That was actually in Sedgwick County where we received, or where we would have been receiving automatic aid into our fire district. I have not been able to get any data from Butler County of how many actual fire calls that we would have been contributing to if we had an automatic aid agreement at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Norton?
This is an automatic aid agreement. Describe the difference between automatic and mutual aid agreements.
Automatic aid is when the initial alarm comes in for a fire, we automatically go. We have agreed on what resources that we're going to send to that department at that time. The state of Kansas has a mutual aid agreement where any jurisdiction can call us and request equipment for an incident. This agreement also has the out clause for us that if we do not have the resources available at that time, we won't deploy the resources. And same thing with them. If they're tied up on something and don't have the resources to do it, all it's going to do is augment what we're already sent. It's not going to shorten what our initial response is. It just gets another truck and equipment there to assist us on the call.
So just to clarify, this is automatic response only for fires?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And now, will you track the number of calls in the future
Yes.
that we respond to and they respond to us then? So
Yes, we've got that data. I didn't have the data for the commissioner to tell you exactly what our automatic or mutual aid calls are for the last year for us.
Got it. I think we've had a motion and a second. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Seeing no other comments, please call the vote.
Commissioner Unruh.
Aye.
Commissioner Norton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterjohn. Chairman Ransall.
Aye. So the vote passes 5-0. Lonnie, do you want to comment on this item and represent the public?
No, thank you.
Okay.
You've done great today.
Thank you. And any other business come before the governing body of Fire District 1? Seeing none, we'll adjourn that meeting. Call back to order the regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. And I think we're at other. Commissioners, do we have anything for the other portion? Commissioner Peterjohn.
Well, early in our meeting, we thanked the folks who were working on the election side, and I particularly want to thank those who were from the Election Commission office and I know there are a lot of other county employees from other departments who were involved, especially the ones who worked Saturday. The weather was not accommodating. It's an excellent example of why we should move particularly these primaries, and unless we want to become the next New Hampshire, I don't think we should be holding elections in winter time. But I would be remiss if I didn't point out that March 4th is an important day in American history. 1789, on March 4th, the U.S. Constitution goes into effect and the first Congress begins meeting in New York City. On this date in 1865, President Lincoln, just a few weeks away from destiny, gave his second inaugural speech. And it's noteworthy in the sense that he talked about, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. March 4th is an important day in American history, and just wanted to get that point out there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe we've got an executive session, and I'm willing to make a motion if that's appropriate at this time.
Is there any other? Seeing none, I believe it is. Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session for 10 minutes to consider consultation with legal counsel on matters privileged in the attorney-client relationship relating to legal advice, and will return here no sooner than 1:15.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Call the vote.
Commissioner Unruh.
Aye.
Commissioner Norton.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterjohn.
Aye.
Chairman Ransall.
Aye. We'll now move to executive session. Are we back on?
Yeah.
So we're back from executive session. Like the record reflect, no binding action was taken. Are there any other issues or matters come before the commission?
No, sir.
Are you sure? All right, we are adjourned.